I was thinking of playing Vanguard with my friends, but instead I'm doing this for you guys on Chinese New Year's Eve. Hey, what's it going, guys? It's Shane. I'm gonna show you Majesty Lord Blaster deck profile for premium. So anyway, let's get started. First, we have one copy of Grade 4, Escopade the Blaster. It's a tech card to clear your board and whatnot, and it comes in handy more times than I like. It came in handy the other day. Anyway, the skill is on the the first one is on place. On place, counterblast 1, and then you choose one card, and then you remove the rest of the cards. And then the second skill is at the end of battle, this unit attacked. Put 2 cards from your hand into your soul, and then retire this, so you remove this from your Vanguard circle. And then you put it in the drop, and then you ride Blaster Blade from the soul. Which is there's an interesting interaction I'll show you later. Next, for grade 3s, you have 4 copies of Majesty Lord Blaster V, because it's the strongest version and there's no one else you're gonna ride. Why bother? And this is basically the skill is Blaster Blade endowed in soul plus 5,000 power plus 1 critical, and it gains a drive, so it's basically a beat stick that hits for 18,000 by itself. With a bit of assistance, you'll see what this funny thing can do. The second skill is how you get Blaster Blade endowed in soul if you somehow screw up at least one of them. Put 2 cards from your rearguard circle into your soul, and you gain 2 imaginary gifts. So it also generates gift, and it's how you build in your multi-attack. Next, 3 copies of this. For you EN players out there, if you don't know, this is the best MLB support you are gonna get. The skill is the continuous skill states that if you in soul, and if you have Majesty Lord Blaster is your Vanguard, the base is 18,000 power. So it stacks with this text here that adds 5,000 power on Vanguard circle. So that makes it 23,000 power, which is a lot. Also, the note that the crit is the only thing that's transferable from Vanguard and rear, and the drive and power is on Vanguard circle. So this is a crit beat stick if you wanted to. Anyway. So the second skill is how you get it into soul, other than, using this second line of text, is from hand, counterblast 1, bind the Vanguard, the grade 3 Blaster Vanguard at the end of, and then you write this as stand, and it gains plus 5,000 power. So it's a 15,000 power beat stick with 1 drive. The third skill is useless. Anyway, at the end of battle, it boosted, it attacked, retire. You will have to ride Majesty Lord Blaster from your bind zone that you paid for this cost as rest. The last skill is for the D players, the standard players out there that haven't got EM players that also haven't gotten it. Energy blast 3 and you retire rearguard, but you got no energy in this format currently, so oh well. But that's not important. So yeah, it's a Majesty Lord Blaster is a 23,000 power beat stick. Next is your Blaster Dark. Doesn't matter what, as long as it's V. You can run the D version if you want. I don't, because I'm too lazy to build in workarounds for it. There are ways to do it, but I'm not into it. Anyway, so the skill is, well, you will use the first skill if your opponent has a rearguard. You can, on place counterblast 1, your opponent chooses a rearguard, retire it. Cool. Second skill is the act ability is if your opponent has no rearguards, basically, you can discard a card and it gains another drive, which twin drive on grade 2. Like, who would have thought that'd be pressure? And then the last one is it just counts as out right. I mean, this doesn't have it, but they're all V. I just like one copy of the art. Later you'll see there's a pattern with this. It's like here's the V art, here's the V art, here's the OG art. Anyway, put that aside. Next we got Yes, we got 2 copies of the V and 2 copies of the D series. Mainly because I cannot get my hands on another playset. I have a playset of this, another playset, like 4 more copies of this. It's in my D Majesty Lot Blaster, and I'm not gonna dismantle it. Call me rich, whatever, I don't care. The D one is basically OG Blaster Blade, but you reduce the counterblast by 1. So the first one is counterblast 1, retire rear guard, and then the second one's on rear guard, counterblast 1, and retire grade 1 or greater rear guard. But the first one is if you did not retire rear guard, draw a card. So your place, let's say you don't have dark, or you don't want the twin drive your opponent. Write this, and your opponent has no rear guards anyway, so you got counterblast for some reason, I don't know why, counterblast, and you just draw a card. So 3+. This one you can use. I mean, this is this is where we get to the escapade funny business with this. So, depending on which blaster blade you put, oh look, OG art. Anyway, depending on which blaster blade you put from Escapade's ability, you get a very weird interaction. If you ride this as Stan, you gain a crit if you build a full board. But this, if you have a counterblast to spare and you decide to write this instead, you just get a free draw. So you gain 2 for the twin drive, you -1, 2 for the ride up, for the ride down, and then you gain back the 1, so you get refund the hand. It's kind of funny. Anyway, moving on. This one is counterblast 1, soul blast 1 on van or rear, retire a front row rear guard on place. This one doesn't care as long as it's grade 1 or greater. This one gets a crit on Vanguard if you have 4 rear guard. This doesn't. I have options. I often get to pick anyway, so it's fine. I'll show you why you can pick in a moment. You have Catafelt, which oftentimes, if you do not have Blade or Dark in your hand, or your multi-attacker, which I'll show you later, this is a good option. Or you can use it to search out the 3 copies of Blaster Blade of Vanguard because you don't have it on hand. So there is that. These are going to be the grade 2s. That'll be all. For grade 1s, 2 copies of Sisyllus. Skill is very useful. First one's on place, search for grade 3. So if you don't have a grade 3 write-up, like, it's not grade 3 or greater, it's grade 3. So you only got like 4 grade 3s in here. So you just need to find MLB and you're good. If you add it to hand, you discard a card. Second skill is, if you have no face-up damage on Ven or rear, it gains 5k. So it's a 13k beat stick if you go second. And if you go first, it's nothing. But I mean, what do you know? It's not like you don't know that. So there is that fact, I guess. 4 copies of Good Boy Vanguard Brave. Nope. I said 4 copies. Where oh, there it is. 4 copies of Vanguard Brave. This is very useful because you need it for the write-up. Basically, when the unit this guy boosted, or if it swings itself and it hits, search top 7 for a blaster, add it to hand, and then shuffle the deck. It's infinite resource. As long as it hits, you get hand. If it doesn't hit, oh so sad, you lose nothing. You'll be fine. If you call 2, you'll eventually one of them is gotta hit anyway. 4 copies of Replenish Mage. It's kind of busted. This is your ideal write-up if you go first, because the first line attacks, at least on rearguard circle, if you're a grade 3 or greater, if a Vanguard a grade 3 or greater blaster, I believe. Yes, the line of text says grade 3 or greater. Counterblast 1, call up to one card with grade 2 or greater blaster in its card name to rearguard circle from your soul, which is your multi-attack, because, you know, MLB puts cards in soul, you take it out on attack, boom, boom, boom. Basically, you trade your 1 imaginary gift for 1 CV. Simple enough. Second skill, when a blaster unit with blaster is ruled upon this card, call it to a rearguard circle. Basically, it's a forerunner for a grade 1. I don't know why they didn't just use keyword forerunner, but then it's V, so what do I expect? For your Sentinels, you're playing blasters. Just run grade 1 PGs. I'm running 1V because I am too lazy to get another copy. The reason why I have this on hand is because I swapped it out for Elementaria on that deck. And obviously Elementaria, because your opponent will guard restrict the ass out of you and you can't need it. So that's your Sentinels and your 1-draw PG. Because if your opponent has a grade 1 greater, like let's say they use G Chronojet, because Crest Chronojet is now rampant in this specific this specific premium format. Although for you EN players, I'm not sure. See how this is prep for the future at least. Just keep that in mind. If they prevent you from calling grade 1s, you got grade 0. Well, you know, Elementaria, but why Elementaria? You can Elementaria the stride units that have triple drive. Anyway, for your over trigger, I chose the Keto T. A, I'm too lazy to get blue. B, twin drive checks more. You kind of want more hand anyway, because everything in the deck is valuable anyway. So just more hands good. 4 copies of Stride Fodder crits, because striding is good. Why not? 3 copies of Epona and 3 copies of Flogo, because they look nice and I couldn't care less on what crits I run. And then 4 copies of the grade 3 Heal Guardians, because A is grade 3, so you can discard it for stride if you need to. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I would do it like in a pinch if your opponent has not much hand, but you don't need to do it. It's Majesty Blaster. If you have Blaster Blade Vanguard in your hand, just don't bother. And second, you have it's rushing. Oh yeah, and also the interaction of this with this is actually kind of funny. So you write this rest, write this attack, right? The wording states ride, so you do ride this, and you gain another imaginary gift. So you get 4 imaginary gifts in your first turn 3, no matter what, because you're not striding on turn 3, no matter whether your opponent is grade 1 or grade 2. Your starter, Glime, because Bargo was for a funny combo. Your resist, G Guardian. Your G Guardian relies on your opponent's hands, just in case they want to have card advantage. You can work against them. 2 Marins, which you will search. It says just you Soul Blast 1 if your Vanguard is Blaster, and then call a card that is grade 1 or greater, and it gains +5 K shield value. So you can call a grade 2 if you don't need that much shield value, or you can call a heal. I mean, more shield value. Or, you know, you can call the PGs like I showed you, because those 2 PGs are on place and not placed from hand, which is the reason why, annoyingly, there are Blaster PGs that are free, but they cannot be placed from, they have to be placed from hand, so I can't use this. So, I'd rather just take it. Your PG, your other PG, Heal Guardians, G Guardians, which plus 10k shield. If you intercept, you pick a grade 2, I believe, yes, a grade 2, and it gets plus 10k shield value, so it's a 15k intercept. But it does have the red text to create a PG effect, which is very useful. It causes Counterblast and Soul. Counterblast is expensive, Soul not so much. Flip Fodder, I'm not going to go over Flip Fodder, they're just there to fill in the gaps. Twin Swords, Counterblast 1, call 2 cards from your deck. There's grade 2, I believe. Yeah, grade 2, and then that's it. And then the second skill is however many cards face out in G zone, gets plus 5k, which is crazy because apparently it works in Giza. I didn't know that. GB8, I mean, you know this one, kind of plus 1, attack, call up to as many as you want, and it gains a crit? When a unit is placed on rearguard circle from your deck, this unit gets plus 5k power until the end of the turn and flip a card face up in your G zone. And it gets a crit, so, you know, 5 attack, GB8, why not? This one, kind of plus 1, however many rearguards, draw as many, call as many, and then if you have 5 rearguards, gain a force. If you have a terrible stride turn, which doesn't really happen because you're MLB, you don't stride as your primary thing, is just nice. The reason why you stride in this deck, by the way, despite like it, okay, other than the fact that it costs freaking 3 CB to use 6 attacks, is Crystal Luster. The skill is basically you flip a card in your G zone face up, act ability, and then you gain what the heart card ability is, so you gain MLB. And because of that, it's a quad drive 2 crit with 2838. This is a 38,000 power beat stick with 2 crit and 4 drives. It's a lot. You can't blast ability the Vanguard it, but who the hell cares? You're killing your opponent before any funny business happens on that front. Harmonics Messiah, because you need Guardian Shield tickets, and also Link Joker, but Link Joker doesn't carry your MLB. You're just doing it for the shield tickets. And the 16k. By the way, all your strides, because of, let me see if I can grab him out. His skill, it says it gets a base of 18,000. Even no matter what stride you're on, it's 16 plus 18, not 13. So the math is you gain an extra 5,000 power no matter what happens. So there are a lot of fun interactions. Basically, this whole deck relies on relies on MLB being a beat stick and Escalade being funny. I mean, the other day I won a fight because I used this with an OT. So, you know, do what you will. I will show you the Think Saver deck profile that I did for that one video that you guys, a lot of you have watched later on. But other than that, like, subscribe, and see you another time.